Today on Auto Aficionado, we're going to be taking a look at one of the craziest car collections you'll ever find in Canada. We'll be talking with Angelo Paletta and checking out his Car Cathedral, where among many other insanely rare cars, he keeps his $2 million McLaren Elva. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for this one.
Hi, I'm Angelo Paletta from Ontario, Canada. I won't reveal the exact location of the Batcave for obvious reasons. And welcome to the Car Cathedral. You see I have a number of cars here, from different makes, different styles. I consider myself to be multicultural and support a lot of brands. Whatever really, I think is unique or exotic or limited edition, then I tend to go for those type of cars. I think like most kids, very intrigued with cars as a little kid. I remember growing up, my father had a riding lawnmower that I wanted to soup up and get more horsepower out of it so I could cut the grass faster. Always been intrigued with power and speed. Unfortunately, my father really couldn't afford to buy any cars when I was growing up. All the money went into the business. So I started late in life, and I'm glad I did. It's amazing. I love it. I love talking to the people. I love doing charity work. Cars are like money. It's a universal language. And it's a great icebreaker when you meet somebody new for the first time and you start talking about cars. It really tends to calm people down and get them interested. So I've always had a decision to build what I call the Car Cathedral and store my cars because I wanted them close to where I lived. So I had this vision in my mind. I designed the entire garage, the paint scheme, the floor pattern, and obviously had an architect and engineer to put it all together. It's 30 feet high in the center and 22 feet on the walls. It's clear span, so it's a big garage. It's bigger than my house, which I think most men would like. I can go 3 high, actually go 4 high. Right now I have 2 triple stackers in, and may have more in the future as more cars come.
Angelo is a self-proclaimed Ford fanatic with an unbelievable collection of Ford GTs, special edition Mustangs, vintage Shelbys, and all of the Ford memorabilia that he can get his hands on.
My dream car started with Shelby. Even though I was never at the races in the 60s, I've always liked the Shelby Cobra and the GT40. Those were really my 2 dream cars. I always wanted an original Shelby Cobra, which I have now. I have 4 Ford GT40s, 68, 69 Recreation, 2 of the 06s, Canadian cars, and the first Canadian 2017 Ford GT that came out of the factory. My 06 Ford GT, the white with blue stripe behind me, the American racing colors, has 29,000 miles on it. My 2001 Superformance Shelby Cobra has 36,000 miles on it. I'm not a Lamborghini guy. I'm always open if somebody wants to give me one to try for a while, but currently, just Ferraris on the Italian side. My red 458 Spider has 34,000 kilometers on it. My 2015 Ferrari Speciale has 17,000 kilometers on it. I'll be honest with you, the Ferrari guys here have been amazing. I didn't have a Ferrari for a long time, and I used to get invited to bring the Ford GT. There's this really interesting respect between Ferrari and Ford and the GT40 specifically that is very nice to see. Very nice to see. currently, my most recent acquisition that I drive is the McLaren Elva. It was offered to me by the wonderful friends at McLaren, and I actually bought the car off an artist rendering. It wasn't even fully built yet. It started 2 years ago in September. I had the right to buy it. They offered it to me. I already had a 720S Spider at the time, and they know a little bit about myself and my car collection and my oddities, I guess, in one way. So that car is one of one with the old style Golf livery, which is the dark blue and orange versus the light blue and orange like I have on my Ford GT40. And Golf had to sign off. They were wonderful about it. It took a number of months to do it. They were so impressed, but they actually gave me exclusivity. So the car is one of one. They will not do another one that has the Golf livery like that. And it's car number 11 out of a total of 149 for the world, and only 2 came to Canada. It's a McLaren, same engine I've been using, the 720, slightly modified, 4-liter V8 twin turbo, 814 horsepower. A lot of power. We actually, myself and Faf McLaren, launched the car at Mosport when the car first arrived. And I did a couple of recon laps there, very, slow speed. I wore my old Golf style helmet, open face with the old style goggles. That was really cool to do. The car is so unique, and it's amazing how you see people's reactions of what is it, where's the windscreen. I thought people blew off on the way up here, and it's just great to share that with so many people.
Very unique feature of this car. A lot of my good friends from McLaren signed what they call the tonneau cover. In the center we have Daniel Ricciardo, Lando Norris, Mike Flewitt, and Zach Brown, as well as a number of other people from McLaren MSO that painted the car, worked on the car. Very nice touch for them to have that done for me.
The Elva is inspired by the open-top race cars designed by Bruce McLaren in the 1960s. The name comes from the French term Elva, which appropriately translates to she goes.
To get a car that has no windshield, that is a pure roadster, was something very unique. And I thought it was amazing. And the driving experience with that car is spectacular. It's like a motorcycle on 4 wheels for all intents and purposes. You don't have to wear a helmet. It does come with high impact glasses, but I also got custom Golf livery helmets to match the car for both myself and my wife, so we can actually talk to each other while we're driving. It's completely different, obviously. It's brand new to me and anyone I take for a ride. It's really cool. I mean, it really puts you close with nature. You really feel the difference of the wind. It does have a AAMS, Active Aero Management System, which helps to deflect some of the wind. The design was meant to return the airflow and create like a cone of silence over the cockpit. It does work from basically 30 kilometers an hour to 120, and then after that, it's way less effective. I've driven it with the deflector down, and it's just pure wind hitting you in the face and trying to push your helmet off your head, and if you're not wearing sunglasses, your eyes are watering. It's really unique, and I really, really like it. I think it's great. The car's got almost 1,600 kilometers on it in basically 6 weeks of actually being able to have it on the road. So I drive the car. I have 2 cars I really don't drive. That's my original Shelby Cobra. Has an original 427 side oiler and a NASCAR big spline 4-speed transmission, both built by Bill Parson out of Southern Automotive, who's now passed away, but he built the engines and transmissions for Shelby in the 60s. That car is still raw aluminum. I'm the only guy to ever drive that car. It's got about 230 miles on it. And I have an 06 Ford GT that's basically in the wrappers. It's black with silver, just like car number 2 that won in 1966. That car had 24.5 miles on when I purchased it from the factory. It now has 30. That car's never been plated. Those 4.5 miles have been done in my driveway twice a year just to keep everything lubricated and functioning and the seals lubricated. Everything else is driven. It's a combination of story, design of the car, the number of the cars being built, and the uniqueness. I mean, I like them to be a little bit different. I mean, I have a bunch of Mustangs, but one's the 50th anniversary of the Bullet. And that car was actually delivered to me on the 55th birthday of Mustang, right? So there's a story on that. The Shelby KR was the last car that was produced by Shelby, and then he passed away. And that's only 22 in Canada. Those, the Boss 302 is a 2012. It's the only year they did the two-tone paint. And then my 2020 GT500 has the track pack, which is a limited edition type of car as well. And for the money, it's a decent car, and you can drive them and don't have to be as concerned about driving the Elva and who's around and stuff like that. And they're just a great car to drive too. So it's a full mix. It doesn't have to be super expensive for me. I just like the uniqueness. I had a Dodge Hellcat Red Eye because it was 800 horsepower. So that was cool. I had to buy a tire company to keep up with the tires at the back though, because every time you put your foot on the gas, you just smoke them. But that's neat too. So it's a combination of things. It really needs to catch my eye first, and then I go a little further into it. A lot of people come up to me and ask me, what's my favorite car? And it's like having kids. They're all my favorites. They don't talk. The cars don't talk back to you. Most of the time they work. Of course, they leak oil a little bit. Sometimes they don't start. But those are minor things. I love it. I love cars. I love talking to people. I love the power. I love the speed. That's my golf. That's my stress relief. So I can't stand golf because it's way too slow for a fast guy like me. And it's great. I love it. I love the whole car culture, the car people, camaraderie, the families. It's amazing.
For more episodes of Auto Aficionado, make sure to like and subscribe, and let us know what you think in the comments. Until next time, stay tuned.